Meghan Markle, her lies were exposed through Eugenie. How that happened, why that was such a blunder on Meghan's part. Why? Even though we all know how smart she is, how manipulative she is, she can do a lot of things and get away with it. At least Harry fell in that trap. So the question is how this happened, why this happened. Let's break it down. So number one thing is that we all know Meghan Markle, she said, I have no connection, I have no news, I have no relationship with any of the British royal family members. I do not know anything about them. I have no interest in knowing about them. In other words, means I am completely free of them. I don't need them. You know, let me deal with my own life. I have so much on my plate. Doing this, doing that. Now, how come this is the question? You ready? Well, if Meghan Markle doesn't really know anything about the British monarch, as she claimed repeatedly over and over again, then how can she have a relationship, or how can she have Eugenie coming over to Montecito? Now, we do not know whether Eugenie is going to be living there for a while, whether they're going to be living together for the time being. We do not know. But what we do know is that she definitely visited Lilibet. Eugenie visited Lilibet. She saw her, she touched her, and therefore she was there. How can this be possible when Eugenie is a British royal family member? And you might argue, well, you know what? Meghan Markle knows Eugenie for a long time, so it is obvious she's gonna come over and visit and cuddle Lilibet and Archie. There's nothing I see off about it. But what makes it off is that, you ready? When you say you have no connection with any of the British royal family members, how can you have Eugenie, a princess, one person? Even if it is one person, you should not be having them over, or having her over, having him over, because according to you, you have no interest, you do not want to know about them, you're completely cut off. So Meghan Markle, your lies are exposed. Number two, very, very interesting, important point. And this point is coming straight from Harry. Harry, he always said, you have to listen to this, very, very interesting, very, very important. This is Harry. He always said that I want privacy. And his wife, Meghan Markle, said the same thing. We want privacy. We do not want to be on the spotlight. Yet he was present in the most watched, one of the most watched games on television, on TV. He was there. If he was so desperate about keeping it to himself, how can he goes to this kind of event, to this kind of sports, where you know that the cameras were on them from every corner of the world, everybody was watching? Well, you know what? Prince Harry is learning something here, very, very important about life. Do you know what is that? You should know, because Harry's life is going to become more dramatic in the coming days. Thanks to Meghan Markle, but thanks to his own personal life experience, things that he has said in the, recently and in the past. So what is it that I want to talk to you about now? Prince Harry, he said, you know what? I do not want public. I'm trying to avoid the spotlight, but he's going there, and the reason for that. Now I'll bring you number 2 point. The reason for that is because Prince Harry, a life of a prince is gone. He has to feed his stomach. He has a family. He has to feed these bellies. He cannot afford to say, oh, I don't want the spotlight. You do. Even if you don't, you have to have it. Otherwise, you're better up that startup company where he is the chief executive or chief inspector officer. He's the chief impact officer. He has to go out, do things he doesn't want to do, perhaps. Do things that he said in the past he will never do. Prince Harry, you ready? You're learning it in the hard way. You could have been much better off if you had been in UK sitting on your couch watching cricket, football, rugby. Rugby, by the way, Prince Harry, he used to watch when he was in UK. He could afford this before. Now he cannot. Now he has to feed bellies, put food on the table, so he has to go out. The other point I said I will mention is that Prince Harry wasn't happy. See, he's giving an interview. When he went to watch that game, he was not happy. This is not what I'm saying. You can go anywhere. Anybody will tell you Prince Harry was not looking happy at all. What was the reason for that? Is it because he had problem with Meghan Markle? No, perhaps not. I mean, we know that a lot of people, according to a lot of people, he does have problem with Meghan Markle. It's just starting. But the reason he was not happy is because he doesn't like this kind of a sports. He doesn't. So he is going there against his own will, taking Eugenie with him because Meghan Markle, Prince Harry sitting together watching something Harry doesn't like, making a Harry absolutely unhappy, will give the impression to the whole world that both this couple, these partners, they are not happy with each other. And that was a good planning on Harry's part and Meghan's part, because imagine they were not looking happy when they were watching the sport, and the whole world is now talking about it. Harry knew he would not like it. Harry hated it to go to that sports and watch and sit down like, a little obedient student in grade 1 or grade 2. He had to do it. So good thing he didn't take Meghan Markle, because then both of them will look miserable. And the whole world will start talking. And this is, why? It is not because they wanted to put this bravado on them, showing, this facade of, oh, we are happy, we're in love. No. Not that reason. Yes, that can be a reason. But the main reason why Meghan Markle, Prince Harry decided not to go together, as you can see right here, right? Eugenie and Prince Harry. No, is it Eugenie or Prince Harry? I don't know. Maybe. I don't see it. But anyways, the point here is that if they would look miserable in that game, in the stadium, sitting down watching, like a little obedient student, schoolgirl, it is not good for their brand. It was meticulously pre-planned. If Harry and Meghan doesn't look happy together, they have to force it. Otherwise, brands will not sign them up. If anybody, sense that there is trouble in the relationship, their brand will collapse. And Meghan and Harry, they both know. This is why, and this is subjective. I'm open to criticism, no problem. If you are in disagreement with me, by all means, let me know. No problem. I have no problem. I have zero problem. But I will say what I believe has happened, because I'm following Meghan Markle's story now for quite some time, and I know how brands work. I'm not an expert, but I have some common sense that I can use. I know this how these relationships work. So Meghan Markle, her lies were exposed when she said, I have no connection, I have no interest, I do not know anything about British monarch. And at the same time, Prince Harry, he is now learning a very, very important life lesson in a hard way that he never had to do. So the question is, obviously, would that have an impact on his marriage? Yes. Most likely, Harry is going to lose it. Yes, I can be miserable maybe a day or two. I can be miserable for, another 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, maybe 1 year. But I cannot be miserable every single year, every single day of my life. I have to do things that I don't like or enjoy. At the same time, I have to do these things because I have to feed my family, have a roof over my head. Now I have babies. These two cry all day long, and my nagging wife, she doesn't stop her mouth. So Prince Harry is now feeling the heat, in other words, and it will definitely have an impact on their marriage. I mean, it is very common. It's a problem for every couple. When you turn on the heat, it does feel very bad. Thank you guys for tuning in, for joining in. I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Take care.